Every golfer has had the frustrating experience of shooting much lower in practice than they do in tournaments, or getting on the range or practice putting and hitting the ball, striking the ball really well, only to find your game doing a disappearing act when you get on the course and you're playing under pressure. And I worked with a young golfer by the name of Gary quite like that. He and I did some work because earlier in his career, before he had a lot of success, he was a more relaxed golfer and he actually played well. And the interesting thing is, as he got a little bit more success, his expectations grew. And as his expectations grew, his frustration level went up. So he was the kind of golfer that when he hit a bad shot, when he made a mistake, when he got a bad lie, he would hang on to it. He would get frustrated. He would put himself down. He would try too hard. He would start pressing. And one of the things you can't do as a golfer is force the feel of your shot. You have to learn to trust and feel the force. And that and his frustration caused Gary to shoot a whole lot lower than his potential. And his teaching pro was at a loss to help him with this because they worked on it. His mother was incredibly frustrated for him, and with him. And Gary just he just didn't know what to do, And so we did a lot of work on teaching him how to manage his frustration and mainly how to control his focus, both before the shot and during the shot and before the tournament. And we taught him how to keep his focus away from the biggest mental trap that golfers fall into, which is what I call the crunching numbers trap. You're counting strokes. You have a bad hole and you go into the next hole thinking, I've got to make up for it. When you think that, you're going to press. When you press, you're going to mess up. And Gary had to learn how to let those bad shots go and to understand you don't work on your game during a tournament. You don't work on your game in a course, on the course when it counts. And Gary was able to kind of integrate that and get to the point where he was playing much more consistently, and his practice rounds look like his tournament rounds. Now, there's a lot of ways that you can approach this, and you can do what Gary did and work with me one-on-one, or you can use some of the training audios I have and the workbooks to systematically develop these mental skills. And I can promise you one thing. The problems you may be struggling with mentally on the course are fixable if you put time into this part of your game. If you want to become a champion, if you want to develop the mind of a champion, you can't go onto the course or into a tournament hoping you'll do well. You have to work on it. And when you work on these mental skills, then you will truly develop the mind of a champion and play like one.